Okay. Okay, great. You can still see my screen. I'd like somebody to tell me what they can see now. Just type it in the chat. What can you see now? Okay. I'm still getting thumbs up. I just want to know what you can see on the screen so that we're very sure that we're on the same page and there are no issues.
I can see the Canva interface, buggers
Okay.
on the side, and then a plain Canva page.
All right. Perfect. That's great. Okay. So, let's just give a bit of a minute. I'll be back here. All right. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Nice to see that. Okay. Give me a second. Something came up. I need to attend to that. It's not receiving data. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you and welcome once again. Thank you for joining the class. I'm glad to have you all around. So a bit of housekeeping before we get into it. I believe everyone can hear me. All right, great. A bit of housekeeping so that we don't get it a bit muddled up. Keep your mics muted at all times. If you need to speak, you could just drop it as a chat so I can, permit you to speak so that we can have a very clear and easy to understand session. All right. So this class is made up of a number of group of people. We have people who are novices at Canva. We have people who are beginners. We have intermediate, and that's three sets of people all together. So we're going to be mindful of each other and try to move at a good pace. Also, bearing in mind that we've all seen the pre-introduction to the class, the pre-class videos that we shared. I believe everyone has seen that. And so now we'll just get straight to work. I'm not going to go about, explaining what is here and what is there. You just hear me talk about them as I move. Do you understand? So for 1 hour class, for a 1 hour session, it is not enough to actually unbundle the whole of Canva. Canva is a world. Canva is massive. If you've ever used Canva, you would understand what I'm saying. It's not a place where you can say it's just people have belittled it over the years, but Canva has come to stay and it's a massive force. Before I go on, I'd like to introduce the person who will be speaking with me today, who will be taking the class with me today. While I do the screen aspect for people using PC, she's going to be handling the things that has to do with people using their phones. Her name is Jemima. Please, Jemima, you can just introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining today. We look forward to having a good time this evening. I'm Jemima. All right.
Yeah, Jemima sounds simple, but she's a graphic guru. I can say she's a senior graphic designer. She's been around design for a long time. We happen to be colleagues from school when I was in OAU, where I graduated from Fine Art and Applied Arts department. So my name is Olaju. Pardon me, I didn't need the introductions from the beginning. My name is Olariwaju Adelaja. You can just shortly call me Larry. My My username, as you all know, as you've seen on this design before now, is the Canva Geek, and that's the name you find me by on all social media platforms. Let me just pause this so that if you need to take a look, on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, on TikTok, that's where you find me by. I'm here to actually make this for free, and it's going to be free for a number of months. We're going to be having series of classes like this. In October, we're going to be having one that deals with video editing, and the information of that you will get at the end of the class when you're filling a feedback form. So without much ado, let's just get right into it. We've spent 7 minutes on introduction. So Canva is a very beautiful app, like I said, and you can do a variety of things on it. If time permits, I will look at my portfolio. Okay, let's just quickly look at it. This is my portfolio. I'm a senior graphic designer, and I use Canva even now. And I'm going to show you things that I've done in Canva. A number of you who may have followed me on social media may have seen some of the things I've done in Canva. There's nothing impossible. It is only limited. You're only limited by how much you can, think through a problem and how much you can use it too. I don't know if anybody here has seen John Wick. Has anyone seen John Wick? Feel free to unmute and just say yes, and then mute yourself back. Has anyone seen John Wick? John Wick has 4 parts.
Yes.
Okay, great. John Wick is a guy who killed a lot of people, and of course, why I'm not taking the bad side of killing, he's a guy who is fierce and is good at what he does as an hired assassin. And there was a story about him killing someone with a pencil. Now, it can only take training for someone to get to that point where you can kill with a pencil. And I like to introduce Canva that way. Canva can kill any design, as simple as it is, and as disdained, especially among designers. I'm a senior designer. I've been around for at least 10 years over in the design world, and I know how it is very, very disregarded and disrespected. But let me just show you. This is something I've done in Canva. I believe you can see my screen. That animation, the video behind it was done in Canva. Go to the mock-up of the shirt was done in Canva. A bit of explanation of how I got the idea. Pencil, arrow tail, and a line, which gives us this logo. Everything was done in Canva. And believe you me, I have done jobs that I also, not just for play, like maybe I'm just putting them up for fun or for my portfolio sake. I've done jobs that I have been paid for. In fact, I get paid for working in Canva. While I've not come here to push you, excessively, that once you start using Canva, you start getting jobs. That's not the point. The point is get to understand the tool and how it can help you. I know there are business owners on this call, and I know that there are students on this call. I know people that are also starting out in their design journey on this call. Basically, what I did here was a logo to try to redesign Radio Nigeria if I was given the opportunity. And what I did there was play with lines and make it form the map of Nigeria. I can do this even in Microsoft Word. I don't need Canva to have done this. But let me show you something else I did in Canva. I animated the whole process of how the logo is. That's network. Okay. Everything here. And these are some of the things we'll be dealing with in the next class that we'll be having, which will focus on video editing. So let me not waste time showing this. I can drop the link to my portfolio on the chat, and you can look it up from there. So yeah, things that I've done in Canva. Basically, this website, I did it in Canva. I did it in Canva. This photo manipulation work, I also did in Canva. Sorry, somebody's trying to say something? Somebody is not muted. Emeka. Yeah, thank you. This photo manipulation work, I did it in Canva, basically. And I'm just trying to show you that Canva can do as much as you can imagine. You're only limited by how much you can imagine and how much you can play around. This design that was shared out was done in Canva. For the sake of today's class, we'll be working with this template, and what we're doing with that template is to break it down. And see how design is made. For you to get into any design, you need to understand the rudiment and basic principles of how design works. So it's not just about bringing things together alone. It's with a sense, and there are basic principles and elements of design. There are, in the elements, you have lines, you have contrast, you have color in the principles. You have I'm mentioning principles and elements together now. So you have a lot of things mix up for how your design comes together. For instance, they've been able to use color very well, which are elements of design. In this case, there is a contrast that is solid enough. You see this yellow over this red, they're not conflicting. If I were to change this yellow to something like this, yes, it's visible, but for the purpose of saying special burger, I've defeated that purpose. And that's one of the things to watch out for in working in Canva. Understanding arrangement, neat arrangement. I'm going to do something quickly. I'm going to draw a line from here and draw another line from the top here. Now, if you look at this at a go, you can see that everything seems to follow an order of centrality. This order is centered over this, and this burger is centered in the center of the design. This burger and this special are also centered together, and then they all work together in cohesion with that feeling that they give to make a beautiful design. One quick note: when you're working in Canva, try as much as possible not to use a template all the way. As much as you can, try to move things around and play with them. So, for instance, if I was going to use this for my business, I'm not going to put this burger here. If I'm working with a burger, I'd rather do another burger, delete this, maybe change the color of the background to something different, and then work with it. Why I give you this reason, this advice, because there was a time when I worked on something really fast, and it was very urgent. It was for Christmas, and believe you me, many people were doing Christmas cards urgently at that time. And by the time I sent it out, I saw so much resemblance with it and many other people who have used Canva, on social media and everywhere. So, like I said, we're going to be looking at this one to work with. To create a new page in Canva, basically, while you're working in the same document, you can just click on this add page and you can start working there. Like I said, we already showed you how to work with the Canva interface, and so we're going to be going straight to work now. Let's make an attempt at designing something for maybe a bag business, for instance. I'm sure the people who are into business will be happy to hear this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and paste it here. I'm going to try to change the color. So I'll change this to special offer. And I will try to use another color for the background. Now, to change the color of the background, I have to click it just the same way I clicked on the text and clicked on this one. So I want to change something. The only way the computer understands that I want to do something is to click on it. So I'm clicking on this, and then I'll click on the color and change it to a color that I want. Change it to a yellow. I can change it to a red. I can change it to a lighter red. But for the purpose of trying to follow this design as much as possible, we can basically just copy this background by right clicking on it, copy, come here and Ctrl V or right click and say paste. So it's asking me if I want to allow Canva to paste, because I'm using this account for the first time. So I'll say yes, allow, and that is done. Let me get rid of these lines. I will take a pause now and ask if anybody has any confusion so far. If not, I would like to just continue. Is that fine? Okay, I think we're good. So I'll say special offer, and I can change the color to maybe yellow. So I'm looking for bags. There are only two ways I can get bags into this place. Either I go to elements and I type handbag, or The bags that I sell, I have a picture of them. I come to uploads and I'll upload them, but finish with this first. When you type handbag here, you go to photos on this tab, and from photos, you can find handbags. One thing I like Canva for is also presents you with options. Instead of seeing pictures that you have to remove the background, there that already comes like PNG. So let's look this, for instance. You can scale this down and right click on this layer to bring it forward. How did I get that? Let me do that again. So I'm going to right click on this, and the right click brings me to bring this forward. I'll just click on bring forward. So I brought this forward over this place, and then I can write any other thing I want to write. I'll take a pause here, and Jemima, if you're ready, you can quickly. I'll stop sharing my screen so that you can share yours and they can see how it works on the phone. I want us to have equal time on both phones and PCs, because we have a lot of people who are following on their phone. Are you set? Hello, Jemima, are you set? Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it. I'm coming.
Okay, let me just continue then. When you're
yes,
you can interrupt me when you're ready. Yes. Okay, so I'm not, for instance, I'm not liking what this bag looks like. It's not sitting well with my design. I can delete it, and you can use your delete key on your keyboard or this trash can icon that is right below here. So I'm going to use that, and I'll look for something else that sits well. I think I like either this or this, and I'll bring that in by clicking. Another way to bring that in is to drag it in. Now, let me quickly show you a trick that will help you. I learned this trick by working in Canva a lot. So I'm going to try to switch this bag, this black bag, for this, and without deleting this. I want it to take its place. So I'm going to drag this and place it right on top of it, and immediately it has changed. I don't know if you noticed that. I did Ctrl Z now to go back. Let me do that with this pink bag. I'll drag this, and the moment my mouse, watch what happens. There's a gray bag, a blue bag on the screen right now. The moment this touches this place, it changes. So that's one of the quick ways I work in Canva. I try not to waste time. So I'll just bring this in again. Like I said, we can't work with it because there's white background around it. Canva gives you the background remover. Anything you're working on in Canva, like I said in that introductory video, anything you're working on in Canva, if I click on this text, the options here would apply for it. That's what it means, that whatever I'm doing here, these options here work for it. But in the case where I'm working here and I don't have all that I want, for instance, I want to apply a special effect to this text. If I click on effect, it's going to bring it out here. But let's say I wanted to do something more than that. The options are here in See All. So when you go to See All, I'll do more with this text. Same thing for the bag. When I want to say change the color of this bag, I can't do that within here. I have to go to See All. From See All, I can adjust, and from adjust, I can scroll down until I see the color that are in the bag. Let's say we want to change this color of the bag to say something in the orange, between the orange and red family. I'll click on this color, this initial color, which is predominant, like grayish blue, and I'll keep moving. If you watch closely, you see the color changing. So I'm going to move my slider until I have something close to what I'm looking for. Yes, then I can increase the saturation. The saturation is how rich that color is. And this is how you change color of objects in Canva. So you know how useful this is. For instance, if you're working, you're selling goods, and somebody's asking for a blue bag and you only have the red, you can, and it's asking, you can each share image. You know that you've sold the blue before, but there's no red that the person is asking for. All you need to do is bring it into Canva, make changes with it, like I said, and then you can send to the person until your order arrives. You understand? Okay, so we want to get rid of the background now. I'm going to click on this and click on the background remover. I'm going to tell you something. I work in Photoshop, I work in Illustrator, I work in a lot of graphic design tools, but I can tell you for free that Canva's background remover is one of the best background remover you'll find anywhere. I can tell you that for free. I've used Photoshop and I know how many things you have to do with Photoshop. I'll give you a very good instant. Let me just jive off a little bit. Let me create a new page and let's look for a hairy woman. A hairy woman. Okay, this will do, even though we can't see a woman yet. Let me just bring this in. Now, it's difficult to get around here, but let me do background remover for Canva here and take note of these areas. Take note of these areas. Just wait for Canva to do its thing. Can you see that? If you want to confirm that nothing has happened and there are no whites around it, can you see? Let me zoom close to. For people using PC, I will try and put a cheat sheet together that will help you to navigate around Canva very fast. And one of the things I do as a cheat around Canva is I don't necessarily have to come down here to slide to zoom. I just hold my control or command depending on what I'm working on. If I'm a PC, that's Windows, I'll use control. If I'm on a Mac, I'll use command. So hold command down and use your middle scroll button to scroll in. And as you scroll in, you get closer. See the details. You won't find white. Unlike when you use a magic wand in Photoshop or you try to remove with one click. Just one click and things done in Canva. So let's get back to this. So our bag is not convincing enough. Look at what they've done with this bugger. There's a shadow beneath it. I can copy this or I can go and look for it. Let's assume this thing was done in Canva. One of the ways to get elements without necessarily starting and typing, let's say we type shadow. I can begin to look for shadow endlessly here, maybe under graphics. And I will get actually, but I can copy this, or if this was done in Canva, except this person uploaded it, but if this person did this thing in Canva, I can right click on it and go to info. That's the last option. And it will tell me what it is called, black shadow element, and by who it is from. So to get straight to this thing, I can copy this. I've selected it and I've right clicked on, and then I've used my command C or control C as the case may be for you to copy it. Then I'll click on this link which tells you who did it, and it opens a window to search the items that person has created. So I'm going to paste it here and I'll search. I'm looking out for it. Long and short is, I don't want to waste time doing this. Let me go back. So long and short is, if you search through that person's account, you will definitely see just the things he has done, and the shadow will be inclusive. So I'll take this shadow. Sorry. Let me do that again. I'll take this shadow. Make sure that this is a page I'm clicked on, and I'll bring in the shadow here. Now we need to send this to the back of the bag. So what I'll do is to right click and go to layer and send to back. But instead of doing that, I want to show you another easy way that will visually help you. Just go to position. Even if this is bag you want to send to the front, let's assume it's this bag. Go to position. Under position, you see arrange and layers. What we want to do is see the layers. I'll click layers. This is the bag. It's right below the shadow. We want the shadow below, so we move the bag by clicking and dragging upwards behind. And that's how simple it is to use. This shadow looks too thick. I can come to opacity and reduce it. I want to do something more. This is one of the things I do with my use of, if I have to use template at all. Most of the time I don't. I want to scale this up. Then I want to duplicate this. Rather than copy and paste, there is an option up here that says duplicate. So I'll just duplicate that. I'll bring it here. And I'll go to effect and look for outline, which is called hollow in Canva. So I'm going to click that. It has given me the hollow effect. I'll reduce the thickness because I want it to be very light. And I'll come back here. I can reduce the area around the text. And I can increase this like this. I'm going to go back to position. I'll bring this one to the back, just between the first offer and the background. Then I'm going to reduce the opacity of it. Now, I'm going to now do something that'll make it fascinating. I'm going to close this. I'll click on that text behind. Very good. This brings me to the trick I was going to show people. So now you can see that something is getting in the way of clicking what is behind. If you're using a PC, if you're using a phone, what you need to do is go to position, layers, and you drag it up. I mean, you click on it and then you come and work on what you want to work on. But that's, in this case, it would be this. To click on this, then you come here and do what you want to do. But in the case of a computer user, what you will do is something is getting in the way and you can't get to what is in the bottom. Just hold on to your command or control. Keep clicking in that area until it selects it like what it has done now. And then you can make continuous adjustments to whatever you want to do. Now also we want to duplicate it. I can click on this duplicate and it's to duplicate it, but it's going to duplicate it on top of it in a way that I don't want. Let me do Ctrl Z. I'm going to select that thing in the background again. I'm going to hold my Option or Alt if you're on computer. And while I'm holding Alt, I would drag away. It makes a duplicate immediately. And I'm going to drop it. Now, instead of me trying to do that again by myself, after doing that, before clicking away from here, I'll just do Ctrl D. Don't worry, if this looks like a lot, there will be recording that will be shared with you and you can go back on it. So I'm going to click on all the places where offer her. The reason why they are light here is because the opacity has been reduced here. So I know this is one. I'll hold my command. This is another one. This is another one. And I can come together here and increase their opacity again. Change their color together if I so wish. Let me look for something close to red. As I'm making the adjustment, I'm seeing the outcome on the left. And I can duplicate an existing text to make another one. So I'll duplicate here now and I'll bring it down here. And I'll say, I'll be press. Okay, there's no naira sign on this keyboard. I'll say 5,000 naira. Somebody's laughing. Something funny. The person was on mute mistakenly. Okay, so Jemima, I believe you should be ready for us now. If you are, let me know. So I'll just finish up on this. You are? Okay, great. So you can go ahead and share your screen before I stop mine.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, great.
Sorry, my children. Noise, please, everybody, just pardon me for the noise that you hear in the background. Can anybody see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can anybody see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
So, all right, thank you. Now, this is, sorry, it's still trying to load. Hello?
Yeah, we are with you. We can hear you.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, you can go on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, so I'll try and reach out to her since she can't hear us. Maybe network issue.
Okay, so in order for us
Okay, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
all right, so for us to the place where we don't Amoli call, please. Okay. So for us to get on our phone, using our phone, the only place for us to get a template is where we have the design. Under design, you come to, you just search for anything that you want. So for instance, this hamburger. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, there was a break, but we can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me? All right, so what we can do now is to
Do you want to take some 5 minutes so that I can continue? Then you can, come back. Jemima, can you hear me? Okay, I think I'll just try and continue while we wait for our. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Just confirm see my screen again. Confirmation. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
We can see it.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So this is the simplest of using Canva, basically. So we can add text, we can add bag. And at this point, I will just leave it as the most basic way you can do a design and get around with Canva. If I'm done with this design, I can go to share. Let's assume I'm done. I'll come to download and I can choose the format in which I want to download it. Say JPEG, PNG, PDF, whatever version I want to do it. So JPEG can increase the size and the quality. Please take note that increasing all these things also means increasing the file size, but again, better details on your work. You will be restricted to certain things if you're not on the Pro. And that is why I said we should all try and get on the Pro, at least for this class sake. So if you come down here, you can select all the pages you want. If you want everything to be downloaded by default, everything is selected, all pages. But if you want to be specific, you can click on all pages to deselect it, then click on current page to select that page that you want. Or you just click by yourself one by one on the page you want, and then you click done and download. And that will download somewhere into your downloads on your computer. This is it going in here. So while we wait for Jemima to get ready, I'll just do a breakdown. Before I do a breakdown, I'll take questions. Is there anyone with a question so far, at least with what we've done? Anyone, feel free to unmute and say something. Okay, no questions. So does that mean we all understand?
Yeah, I do have a question, but not regarding the design. Like, my question is, though I use Canva, the web version, is this the app? Because I think this looks different from what I use.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're facing. So Canva recently it's the first of all to answer the question. This is the web version. The only thing that is different from what you may notice, I'm guessing you are a Chrome user.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So two things that are different here is I'm using a browser called ARC, ARC. Like when they tell you to draw an arc in mathematics, ARC. So, and one of the reasons why I use it, I hope they will pay for this, for advertising for free for them, is because I have a number of profiles, and in what do you call it now, on Chrome, I have to open a tab. I open a window, open another window from our profile, open another window from another profile. But here I don't have to do that. For instance, if I want to go to another of my emails, for instance, my Canva Geek space, all I need to do is toggle from here, and all of my tabs are open here. Can you see that? I can go to another one. All of my tabs, anywhere I have a profile, they're there. So all of these are profiles. So, but this is where everything I'm doing is right now. That's one reason why it's looking like this. The other reason is because Canva also has a new interface that they launched, and so that's why things are arranged like this. For instance, if I click here, I'm not sure you're familiar with this. Are you?
No, I'm not.
Yes. So there's something somewhere around your screen. If you go to the Canva home, maybe after this class, go to your home page, look for Glow Up, GLOWUP. Glow Up is like what helps you to then get access to the new interface. If you go to my TikTok, you'll see how I got access to it. So when they did that thing, it basically changes the interface, but everything still works pretty much the same way. All that you have on the left is just a way of helping you save space. For instance, before, if you wanted to work on this text in that old interface, what you would have to do is click on this, and then you see something on your right. But now, before you go to your right, you have everything up here. So the basic things that work for what you've clicked on. They first of all show up before you can now say, okay, I'm not seeing enough. You can now go to see all. So that's what is different. Yeah. Is there any other question? Okay, no question. If there's any question, please feel free to interrupt me at any time. Remember, please, if you're back, let me know also. So I'm going to try to break down this design. Let's use the primary one so that you can see how easy this design was done in Canva. As you can see, obviously, I'm going to duplicate it and I'll move it to the last page. Let me show a bit of how to navigate around Canva. I can either use this move down to keep moving it down the pages so that I don't mix it up, or I come to this bottom right corner where they say grid view, and I'll click the grid view. So the grid lets me see where I am. The page that is highlighted is where I am, and then I can drag it to the end.
I think
I like to do things like that so I don't mix things up. Say that again.
You said you should unmute her.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I'm so sorry. Okay, you're welcome back. Sorry, I missed it because at some point we couldn't see your screen again, and I think network, then things you needed to sort. Okay, welcome back. Jemima?
Yeah, can we all hear me now? Sorry,
Yes. No problem.
Okay,
We understand. Yeah. So I can stop sharing.
Oh, yes.
All right.
All right. So I'm opening my Canva app at the moment. For those of us that are using our phones, right? We should have gotten familiar with some interface, but for those that don't know anything about it, now you may ask me that how did I get this using the phone, right? You have seen how we did it on the laptop. So let me show you how. Now you see this first icon by your left where you have design. You click it, and then we click something related to hamburger. Let me see what I searched for. I searched for red modern hamburger food, Instagram post. So it would bring a lot of samples for me to pick from, right? And then I can replicate, or I try to edit what is already existing. But so now that we already have what we want to use, that's the first design on the left, right? Then this is where we go. Okay, he on his while he was using the laptop, we saw how he was able to create a new page for those of us that were following. So now I'll just show you that on the phone. All you need to do is to, let's say, pinch now. Pinch your, I'm pinching it in so that it will enter. And then you see, add a page. Now, where you have this plus icon, I can easily add a blank page. But if I want to duplicate this particular design, what do I do? Come down to where you have these menus. You can see that I'm scrolling this place. The first place is add page. The second one is duplicate. The third icon is delete. Then if you want to hide the page and then select the page. So, but what do we want to do now? I want to first of all duplicate this design, right? So I'll click on duplicate to duplicate it. And then I can decide to add a page from here, or I come to where I have this plus icon and add another page. Is anybody following? Okay.
Yes.
Is anybody following? Please, can you respond? All right.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I
I'm
want
following.
to, because, all right, because I don't want to discard some of the elements in this design. So I'm sure Canva Geek has already told you that you don't have to use a particular template the way it is. The same issue he had that Christmas design was the same thing. I thank God I didn't even bother. Everybody was. I just saw Happy Merry Christmas, the same design. You know, I know now. Be creative. If you want to use Canva, it's somebody's work. So you to be creative, trying to fine tune it. So what am I going to do to this now? I don't want to do exactly what this person has done. I'm going to be deleting. So you click on these icons. Now, instead of stressing myself and start selecting them one after the other and deleting and removing, what do I do? Click on the first element. Now, where you have 3 icons on that menu. You have like a comment icon. You have something like duplicate. That's when you want to duplicate. That's double. But I don't want that. Then you delete it. Then you now come here and click on that dot, that more. You will now see select multiple elements, right? Then you now come here. I want to also delete this at once. I don't want to stress myself. I come back here. Oh, click on that particular one. Click on this one. Click on the hamburger. Click on hamburger. Click on this hamburger. Click on this. Click on this. Oh no, I've gone to. Well, the moment you select the main background, every other thing is select. So I want to start again. Click on this particular element. If you don't click on it, this particular one will not come out when you have select multiple. So you come back, you click on select multiple, it will select number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Because I just want everything to be fast. I don't want to start deleting. Then I delete the one that my hand can control. Then come back here, delete this shadow, come back, select multiple, select multiple, select multiple, delete, you know. So it will keep moving like that. And then here we go. We have this, right? This was what the Canva gig started with, right? So like you said about using the same background, what it just did was to copy, but since you are still using that particular template, there will be no need to copy, or you just copy it, come to copy, click on, where you have that dot, all of these ones will come, and then you can always go and replicate. For instance, I want to replicate that same color here, like I swiped, you can see this is our first design, right? This is the second design, and this is the empty page. Then I come here, click on this dot again, and then paste. Can you see? So that was exactly what he did using his mobile phone. So now we are going to, what did he write? Please, somebody should just be special offer, right? Special offer. Special offer. Then I think we changed this to yellow. Sorry, I'm trying to, my brain is not. I'm just trying to capture what exactly, right? This color, I'm not sure. Then he went to search for a bag, right? Anybody following me? He went to search for a
Yes.
bag. Now let's search for a bag under element. That's the second icon on your.
Yeah, that's
We
correct.
have the icons you can see on the phone screen. Hello, can anybody hear me?
We could see the screen, but we couldn't hear you for a bit. Can you hear us? Hello, Jemima, can you hear us? Can anyone still hear her? Or is it just me?
We can't hear her anymore.
Hello, can you hear me?
Not at all. Yeah,
All right.
now.
We can hear you now. Yes, go on. I think there's a network issue.
Yeah, the network issue. That's why.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm back.
Yes, we can.
Sorry.
We can hear. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. So I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my
Yes, we
screen?
can.
Yes,
All right. So under the elements
Yes, we can see your
section,
screen.
we are going to search for. All right. So we are going to under the elements section. That's the second icon on the left, right? We are going to search for handbags. I don't know, was that what you search for? Yes. So, but now you can see that under these elements we have. I don't know if you can see. We have all.
Yes.
That shows. Okay, we can see different types of like icons to use. So either you choose from graphics angle or you choose photos, original pictures, videos, or audio. But now I think we'll make do with this graphics. Let's come to where you have graphics, and then let's look for a similar bag. If I can't get that particular one, a similar 3D bag. Or what I can also do is to get a particular picture. This network is so unpredictable. All right, so let me use this. This is, let's see. Please, are you still with me?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I wish I got another bag, but this network is not networking.
I think it's okay. I think it still works. We can continue with it.
All right. Okay, so let's just assume now. He was telling us about. He was telling us about positioning, layering. Okay, let's move this to the back. Let's move that. Let's move back to the. Let's move this to the front. Sorry, I'm just trying to put my boy to sleep. I've expected him to have slept earlier, but just bear with me. So so for you to each time you want to resize your font, your to do is to click on it. Now this is just the background, right? So click on that particular text, and then you see all these four corners. That's what you will use to increase it. You can adjust it. Maybe if it's like that thing is disturbing you. So now we are going to push this to the back. When you click on it, like I said, all these four icons will show the comment, the duplicate, the delete. Then when you have more, these three dots, you click on it, and then you will see okay, it's no more here. Yes, they recently changed this. So when you click on that particular one, you keep scrolling. Please look down your phone. You see what you see where you have position. Everybody see it's me. I want to be sure because of this network.
Yeah.
All right, so you will see position, move to the front. This particular offer, this text now is already in front. You want to push it to the back. So you come here. If you click the first one, it's just by one layer. But when it's multiple layer, it will be going one after the other. So, but let's move it from. Okay, I think we are okay there. Then we'll come here. Maybe we'll try to resize this bar, right? And then you come. Maybe we'll put it like this, something like this. Then I think he also added a shadow, right? Let's click outside.
Yes.
Yes. The empty space. When you have this empty space, you come back to elements, and then let's search for a shadow. shadow. Okay, which one should we use? Someone similar. Let's say this. And then this shadow now you push it to the back. So for instance, because I just want, we are artists, so the lightning and the whatever, everything must show because we are bringing that into our flat plane. So I had to you can see that you can always change it. You will see when you click it, you will see this rotate angle, and then you will see this like a cross sign. That one is for moving it to any angle. But when you have the rotate, you move it to that angle so that it will show. And then what do? You come to where you have these three lines, and then sorry, I keep forgetting. Before, that's how it used to be actually. So instead of going all yonder, just come here, keep scrolling on your own phone, and then position, and you move it back. So you can see that it's sitting pretty there, right? Now, if you see that maybe it's still not giving you that shadow effect, you can still duplicate that particular one. You can duplicate that particular one, and then have I duplicated it? Okay, no. Duplicate it, and probably, let's say work on the transparent. When you click on it, all of these special features will come out. Hello. Okay. Then you now come to where you have transparency. You can now reduce the opacity of that extra shadow that you added. And then you move it back. I believe you know how to move it back now. You just come, scroll, position, and then move it back. That's all. So I think we are getting there, right? Then I see also where you have special. I think you have something like this, right? 500 naira. I hope you saw how I duplicated that so fast. Then sometimes, maybe for instance, we want to copy a particular style. For instance, I want to change this color to, let's say, green, this shade of green, and then I want it to show in special. Okay, I've not touched that, but let me just quickly show you. I want this same color to show in special. What do? Come here, you click on those three lines, and then you click on copy style, and you go and paste it on that particular one that you want it to. So let's paste it on offer. You come here, click on offer. No, something happened. Let's go back again. Copy style, right? Paste it on offer. Can you see what happened? So there's no need of saying, oh, I want to go and start changing the name of the font. I want to go and start changing the name of the color, all of that. So that's how that copy style works. You can try and explore it on your own. So let's go back to 500 naira, right? Then let's say we can add a tag. Let's browse for tag. Sorry, I hope you are still with me. I hope it's interesting. Hope it's not boring.
Yep.
All right. So we can just say maybe a price tag or something, and then let's use this color. Can you see? So you now zoom, use your phone, your hand to pinch in, and pinch out your screen, and then look for how to place it so that it will give you this 3D effect and say, how are you able to achieve this? And then you zoom it in again, and you now put this here. I say, wow, this is beautiful. This person is bringing 3D into our design, into his design. They don't know that everything is just being creative, and all of that. Okay, and then you move it, you adjust it, you make it a little bit bold, and then here you go. Okay, so then finally, right? I saw that I know this place is too much. Let's try to centralize this whole thing. So what did I say I would do anytime I want to select multiple elements? Click on the first element, right? And then click on these three dots. And then what do? Select multiple, right? Click on offer, the second one. You can see that it will even be showing that it has selected 2 elements. Click on back, click on the tag, and click on the text, and click on the tag. So I've selected 5 elements. Now I can group them so that I can move them I centralize them. See, as I'm moving them, see, these lines are there to guide you. You can see that there's something in here. So you are sure that this text is centralized. As you are moving, it's centralized. I want it to be centralized. So let's leave it that way. All right. And then I can decide to still move. I can ungroup them again and then come here. Let's say move this. Yeah. Okay, then finally, let's work on that text that I did. What do we do? How do you duplicate? Just come here, click on. Once you select it, this second icon is duplicate. Then it now went to effect, right? Effect. And then what did you click on? Follow. That's putting an outline, right? And then I saw that he reduced the thickness. Anybody with me? I hope I got what he was able
Yes,
to
you
do.
did.
All right. And then I saw that it changed the color. I think to yellow or something. What did you change it to? Is it yellow or
Yeah,
white?
anything within the orange, red, yellow family is fine.
All right. So let's just use this particular orange color. And then we increase it. Now, instead of, you can decide to be increasing yours using these four corners, either of them, or you can come here, scroll down, and you see font size, right? You can decide to reduce it from here or increase it from here. I think the highest for this is 144. But when you use this, you see it keeps going, and then yeah. So, and like you said, please, as much as possible, even if you are not an advocate of it, ensure that you don't use a particular, please, you will not be creative. You don't use a particular template for your designs. Try to tweak some things, try to adjust some things, and then as soon as we get the transparency that we want, right, then we can now click on those three dots again. Oh, sorry, not three dots. Oh, skip way. That will take a while for me to adjust. All right, so then we just, how did I come here again? Click on the text, then move down all these menus that you see. You will see what position for those that are writing. And then you click on arrange, send back. You send it back. And then finally, you duplicate it. I think you duplicated the zone 3 times or 4 times. So let's duplicate. Of course, you know where to duplicate. Click on it and then click on that plus sign where you are. Then you arrange it according to how you want, right? Then you duplicate again. The good thing is the moment you duplicate, these things are in front of that bag now. So we are going to move them back by selecting multiple. The moment you duplicate, and then you, like when you duplicate it once, you are the one that position it yourself. So the moment you position it yourself and you press duplicate again, it will just duplicate it exactly in that same position. Now let's do this final one, and then voila, there you go. Now once you select the remaining, the previous 2 elements. So you click on these 3 dots again, select multiple, 1, and then this. And what do we do? Come back here, position, and send it to the back. And then I think that will be all, right? And any other
Thank you
elements you want to
very
add?
much. Thank you very much, Jemima. If you have any questions for Jemima so far on using your phone to do that, please, you can quickly speak. We need to wrap it up. We are behind time so that we don't get all bored and tired. Yeah, go on.
Like, I want to ask, what's the difference between send to the back and stay and bring to back? Like, we have two different, like bring forward and send to the front, something like that. I used to feel
Okay.
like they are the same thing.
Okay, let me show you on the screen. Confirm you can see my screen again. This is where we stopped.
Yes, you can see.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So let me double click on this. Let's create a blank page so that that's clear. For my PC people, let me also teach you some short tricks again. So you want to create a rectangle, press R, it starts with a square. You want to create a circle, press C to start with a circle. So you can move this one, you can increase it to a rectangle basically. T brings you text. I'm going to change these colors just to answer your question. change this color so that we see them visibly over each other. I'll make this, let me make something darker. Yeah. So I'll select all these three together, go to position and arrange and center. Now I'll deliberately bring this to overlap here. Okay, let me change the color we can see on blue. Orange, yes, great. So if I right click on this and I say layer, send to back, I want you to watch what happens. Let me put it here. If I say send to back, see what happens. It goes to the very back, just above the background. The only thing behind it is the background. But let me undo now and say right click, layer, send backward. I can right click again and that option to send backward is still there. So send backward is sending it back one by one by one by one. So if you have 100 things on this page now and this text was on top of it, it will be sending it there one by one, one after the other. But if you don't have time to waste for that, you want to get to the back, all you need to send it to is send to back. The same thing applies for let me stretch this across it. I want to bring this, let me send this to the back so that it's at the back. I want to bring this forward. Rather than bring forward one by one, I can send to front, bring to front immediately, and it's on top of everything. So is that clear? Does that explain it?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay, great. So I don't know if we still have some time. Let's try and explore Canva apps. So on your left, you find Canva. The major places in Canva. Here is where you get your designs as templates. You get your elements here. You define your text here. If you have set a template for your logo, for your colors, fonts, you find them here, like I did in the introductory video. But apps, let me not waste time with all this. Go to apps. So for instance, we've done a design and we've downloaded that design we did. So let's put it on a billboard or want to advertise it in a. So let's we're now in apps. I'm going to click here and type mock up. So mock up is the art of taking something that's designed in a flat environment, as we have done, and then you put it in a real life situation so people can relate with it. It's almost relatable. So for instance, you've seen people who do apps, they will design the app, maybe in Figma or whatever app, but then by the time they are presenting it to you, you see it on, even though it's still a picture, it gives you a sense of reality. You understand? If you go to my talk, you see a video I did on how to make mock-up for teachers. So, but for this one, let's just mock-ups. This is the app we want to work with. Now, in Canva, there are many apps. There are like hundreds of apps, and those are going to help you get around your work really fast. For some reason, it is choosing to be wonderful tonight. Wait for that to load through. So while that is loading, let me see if there's any other thing I can show you here. Okay, it's loading. I'm going to piece this design for Jemima came back, and we duplicated it to this place. So while this one is loading, if you look at this design, I've already grouped what is here. What is the text? What is the text? They're just elements that I looked for. And this brings me to Chimezi's question that I said I was addressing the class. You know, many times we feel like, to get a design done, you have to have resources somewhere. Let me give you one good news, and one of the reasons why I would encourage you to subscribe to Canva. And in subscribing to Canva, it can be enormous. In terms of the amount it is, it can be big, it can be intimidating for you. I think it's about I can't remember how much it is per year, but basically it is very cheap if you compare it to other graphic softwares out there. It is way, way, way cheap. They are not even family. They are not close. Okay, this has loaded. Let me finish this, then I'll come back to what I was saying. So let's say I want to put that design that we did on, let's put it on a screen. So I've clicked that screen. Network. Oh, good. Let me just continue with this. So you don't have to break the bank to actually use Canva. If I'm not sure I spent up to 50K on it. I don't subscribe to those people who are doing 900 because their backyard and Canva itself kicks against it. And it's somebody's business, like I said in the introductory video. And I don't want to do what I don't want somebody to do to my business or another person's business. It's not even moral or legal. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that some of the things you will find on FreePic, like I said, I'm a graphic designer. That's what I do in my day-to-day. I know Envato Elements, I know FreePic, I know a lot of design resources websites, but you have to pay through the nose. But one amazing thing I found out is that most of those people, it's a marketplace. Those places are marketplaces. People just bring, okay, they've taken a good picture, they've done a good image, they've done a 3D, they put it on FreePic, they put it on Envato Elements, they also put it on Canva. That is the amazing thing. That is the amazing thing I found out. So you find a lot of elements like this, you'll find them here. And many times, some of these elements can also be creative enough to just Google around them. Just Google them up and you'll find them on Google. Bring them in here, remove the background, and you can use. For instance, I'm looking for this, I can just Google it up and bring it in here. I know that we're time against us, it's already past 9 already. Like I said, there'll be a feedback form that I will share. I'll share that shortly on the group. Please try and help us fill it. These are firsts, and we know that it's not perfect. So we want to know the things to improve, the areas that we've done well, and what else you expect. We're also looking forward to use that to take information from you to know what else you would have loved to learn, what went well, what didn't. So, like I said, basically, if you look at all this, it's a makeup of different elements put together to make sense. And these are images of work I've done over the years before that I just put in the background, and I added a fade to it. Okay, so let me just show how to create this fade on this design. I'm going to create a rectangle now. The shortcut is R. Make sure nothing is selected. Shortcut is R. I'm going to bring this to the corner and stretch it this way. I'll right click on that and bring it forward. Layer, bring it forward. Then I would go to the color option again and click on this plus sign. From this plus sign, I will see solid color and gradient. I'm going to click on gradient. So I'm going to change this color to this red, this dark red, without having to move around on this swatch. And how do I do that? I'll take this color picker tool to pick red, and maybe I want to fade it into a yellow. I would click on the green, which is going to be my yellow now. Click the color picker tool again and click on the green. So now I know I want to fade the red into the green, but this is too sudden. It is dark and it is suddenly bright. So what I can do is to click again here. So that picks my last color, which is yellow. But I want to have dark red, bright red, and yellow so that the transition is sweetly. So I'll click on this one in the middle, and I can click my mouse on the brightest area where there is red. If I'm not satisfied, I can still come here to, move around there. And I think I have close enough to what I want. But I don't want it in this rotation. I want it to fade into yellow upwards. I'll rotate that into this position, bring it down, just move it around to the area I want to fade over. Then I'll go back to my color. Now you see that it's not showing a solid color again, showing the gradient in preview. So I'll click on that. I'll come back to the plus sign. I'll go to gradient. Then in gradient, I want the yellow the bright red and the yellow to begin to carry some slow movement of fading. So I'll click on the red, and down here, just under the rainbow color of the bar, the rainbow colored bar, I'll bring the slider towards 50 or maybe lesser. Then I'll click on the yellow and I'll make that one almost transparent. Now see what effect that's giving me. It has given me the effect that this bag is being covered soft form of shadow gradient, and that is how this was achieved. How this was achieved. So Canva is very easy to use. Because of time that we don't have, I'm going to drop the feedback form. Like I said, I'm going to encourage you to ask questions either here on Telegram or on the WhatsApp group that we've created. If you can't reach the WhatsApp group, it's fine. You can still drop your messages here. I don't mind. One of the things I love doing on my YouTube channel is taking real life questions from people, answer them, and make them as tutorials with no cost added. It's something that I enjoy doing in my free time. So you can just drop your questions there, what you want me to do, what you would like to see, and then we can pick it up from there. So before we go, I'll just like to take a few questions, if there are, from anybody who has questions. In the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'll stop sharing my screen and drop the questionnaire for the feedback. Any questions? Yeah, somebody said I wish this is recorded. Yes, it is being recorded. It is being recorded. I hope network will do justice to the parts that were breaking, but it's being recorded. We'll make it available. Chimezie, do you have any other question? Is Chimezie here now? Okay, so seems there's no question. I'm dropping the feedback form already. Please help us fill it. At the end of the form, you'll find the link to the next class, which is in October. But between October and now, we're looking at possibility of having another class. We realize that if we stretch a class beyond 1 hour, people already had a long day. It may not go well with people. So we decided to just keep it short as possible. You can find us on our social media platforms that we have put up. So I'm going to share that again also in the group. And then one of the reasons why we chose to work with Telegram, it's just easy. It's easy to do everything within Telegram. On WhatsApp, it's so much a hassle to share your screen. It's not working well with network and all of that. So that's all for today. So I'm going to share I'm going to share our information on the group just now for you to see. You can reach out to us. For those who are using phones, Jemima is your good person. Those who are on PC, you can reach out to me, and you can reach out to us vice versa also, whether PC or either ways, we are here for you. So thank you very much for coming. Jemima, I don't know if you have any last words. Any last words?
For joining. I hope that you have to learn one thing or the other today. See, the only part to this is to keep practicing everything that you have learned today. Please practice. If you don't practice, you will forget. That's the truth. That is the truth. So please keep practicing.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much, Jemima. Okay, so I have one question that came up in my mind now, just as Jemima was talking. If you're a business owner and you're looking at having using Canva for your business, if you don't mind, you can either chat me up personally or drop it as a text on the class if you would like a class soon, so that it's all themed towards, like I said, Canva is massive. We can't compress it into 1 hour. If you want to compress it to 1 hour, that means you must be talking to people who are also in intermediate and expert level, basically. So if you would like to have a particular kind of class, whether it is for you as a business person or for you as a student or for you in a certain area that you want us to focus on, please drop it there as a request on the chat, either on WhatsApp or on Telegram here. And please help us fill the feedback form. I just sent it to the group. Let me just send it again. help us fill the feedback form. It's important for us because that will help us to then be able to prepare and plan better for the next one. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think that will be all for tonight. Thank you for coming. Look forward to another set of classes. Like I said, in October 1st, there's a class for design using there's a class for video editing using Canva, and that class is already filling up fast. I'm going to share the link to that in subsequent days on the group. So thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Please, if you remember something that you want to ask about, don't hesitate to come here to drop the response. If it's tomorrow, if it's next tomorrow, if it's 2 years time, if it's 3 months time, just drop it here. Like I said, it's part of what I do in my time to record videos and share on my YouTube. So, like we said, the only thing we ask of you here is to follow us on our social media handles and see some of our stuff that we do. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. I'm dropping the feedback form one time so that in your view. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Please fill the feedback form. I've only seen one response. Thank you.